Hi, today I'm going to change the automatic transmission fluid on my Honda CRV. It's a 2008 model. I usually change it every 30,000 miles. Now, there are these lifelong transmission fluids which I don't trust anyway. I don't know if it is me or it's just me thinking about it, but whenever I change the fluid, the engine seems to be a little more smoother. The gear shifts are more easier. So the tools you require for this is pretty straightforward. You need a 3x8 ratchet, and that ratchet head is exactly what you need to loosen up the tiny fluid nut. Um, so basically, you need a tapered funnel and some paper towels. The ratchet, of course. You just need the 3x8 head. The taper funnel is very helpful because you need to get it into that fill port, which is quite small. I'm using 3.2 quarts of automatic tiny fluid, some gloves to avoid some messy stuff. Again, make sure you use the Honda genuine ADF DW1. You do not want to use any aftermarket for this job. Oil changes are fine. You can use whatever you want. Coolant changes are okay, but automatic transmission fluid, make sure you use the genuine Honda one. This is leftover from my previous change, so I'm going to use it now. Usually it takes 3 to 3.2 quarts. That's a dipstick for the ATF fluid. It has a notch in it, so make sure that notch lines up with the one in the fill port. That's kind of the locking mechanism for this. You do not want this to rattle all the way. You do not want any debris to get into this to begin with. It's not good for the transmission. So right now the fluid is it's cold. The engine is cold, so you can see it's all the way down, which is fine. As it heats up, you can see the level markers to gauge the actual fluid level. So it's an angle you need to get it in, and once you do that, make sure it fits into that locking tab. I'm going to leave it open so some air can get in, so I can drain it out faster. So underneath the engine, if you crawl down, make sure you have a clean working area with all the pads and towels and whatnot. If you keep going in, and that's the nut. It's very easy to find. So again, it's a 3x8 ratchet size nut. The first time it was very difficult to remove, but then it's quite easy now. It has a washer in it, so you will probably need to replace the washer too. So get the ratchet in. And with a little bit of torque, it should come loose. If it doesn't come loose, you probably need a breaker bar. You do not have clearance to have a breaker bar, so you just need to put your car on jack stands to get some clearance. Right now it's loosened up, so make sure you are wearing gloves because you don't want this fluid in your skin. So as you can see, the old fluid is coming out. It's pretty clear actually, but 30,000 miles is the interval I do the change. And looking at the nut, there's no metal parts, so everything seems to be good. That's a magnet. The black area is a magnet, and any transmission parts will stick to it. And looking at it, I can see it's pretty clean. So I hit some brake cleaner on it and clean it up. I think all the fluid has now drained out. There's going to be some dripping going on, but make sure you clean up the area pretty good. And that's the washer that came from the engine. So make sure you put a new one in. And it's time to put the nut back in, and tighten it up, and fill it up. Alright, so it's all tight now. As for the torque, don't over torque it. And it's time to refill it. It took exactly 3.2 quarts for me, but your mileage may vary. And that's it. Now let's go start the engine and make sure there's no drips. Currently there's nothing dripping down, which is good. Let's go start the engine. So my car currently has around 90,000 miles, 90,000 and change. Yeah, 90,400 and whatever. So I did it every 30,000 miles, so 30, 60 and 90. Now it's very important you shift the gears and go through all the gears one by one to make sure the fluid is rotating within the transmission. Now after this I went for a drive, which I'm not showing in the video. Just make sure you cycle through all the gears. This is a very important step. Once you do the cycling and go for a drive, it's pretty much done.